Have you ever been bothered about when you have your shower, you see strands of hair falling down from your tiles, or every time you tend to comb your hair, you see large chunks of hair are falling out? Well, you're on the right place. On today's episode of Secondary Podcast, we're going to be, as we have been speaking on alopecia, on today's episode, we're going to talk more on what to do to prevent it and other issues that should be addressed when you have concerns with baldness or hair loss. Today's episode of Secondary Podcast is so interesting. You know, like we always come here to give you information that will be of immense benefit to you. Today, we're going to talk about hair loss and prevention. On last episode, we spoke on what causes it, especially when it pertains to gender. You know, women are the ones that are always having receding hairline. So, you know, women now, wig is like the main thing. And, you know, a lot of women, they use glue. And, you know, when they use that glue, by the time they pull off the hair, the front hair is already removing. You know, and of course, some other women that are going through issues with chemotherapy, you know. And of course, even there are some issues with women and some specific hairstyles that tug at the hair. And I'm actually talking about black women here. You know, definitely with time, you start having hair loss, patches of hair around some certain parts of your scalp. So, you know, today we really want to talk about how we can prevent this. So, first of all, alopecia, it affects everybody. It affects both men and women. We discussed that on the last episode, you know, and it's something that is really of concern to a lot of men, especially young men now. So if we can actually educate you on the things you can do right now, you know, it will delay it. Definitely, as you age, your body cannot be in its prime as before. But if you're someone that wants to maintain a certain lifestyle, especially when it comes to your hair or your looks, listening to today's episode will be of immense benefit to you. So we're going to mention 5 things that you are going to have to adapt to. The first thing is going to be on your lifestyle. Now, we know we are in a fast-paced world. People tend to be on the go. They're always looking for how they can get the quickest meal. And most of the time, even these meals we eat, they are not nutritionally balanced. You can have a bowl of whatever that might taste good, but it is nutritionally deficient. So if you want to ensure that you want to keep your hair looking, you know, it's looking well maintained, not just even about hair loss, but also, you know, you have your full hair, you have to pay close attention to what you eat. Minerals like iron, vitamin like vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E is very, very essential for hair growth. Then, of course, taking a meal that is highly rich in amino acids, your protein, your leafy greens, it goes a long way in ensuring that your hair is well nourished. Then, of course, you know, drinking lots of water, making sure you're always hydrated. It goes a long way because, you know, your hair follicle, it's a cell. And of course, anything that you need, anything that the cell will need to grow is something that you should take. So eating healthy food, ensuring that you have leafy greens like your ugu, your spinach, your water leaf, your when you take your efo, you know, like shoko, your tete, preparing it fresh, taking your nuts, your almonds, if you can get them accessible, your cashew nuts, your African walnut. These are things you should imbibe. Then, of course, coconut oil. Also, cooking with coconut oil, cooking with olive oil. These things are rich in omega-3. These are also things that once you start to apply them to your lifestyle, your eating, it goes a long way. Then, of course, another thing that we must discuss in lifestyle change is smoking and alcohol intake. Smoking goes a long way in damaging your hair follicles. So if you're a young guy that you want to keep an afro and you're still smoking, I would advise you to, you know, stop it. I know it might be difficult, but you have to choose. Then, of course, alcohol intake. It has also been proven to increase your chances of developing early onset hair loss or baldness. So these are things you must imbibe by. Then, you know, if you want to stop a habit like alcohol intake, then you have to start a better habit. You know, you cannot just stop a bad habit and think you'll be able to, you know, change. So instead of taking alcohol, maybe you have to go for healthy juices. You have to start looking for how to prepare your smoothies on your own. You have your bottle fill it with water, add your fruits to it, and always ensure that you are well hydrated throughout the course of the day. Then stress. Stress is something that we know that we might not be able to avoid because of the nature of the jobs or your life, your the kind of work you do, but you ensure that you try to manage it. If you are someone that you work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you get home at night, you tend to wake up early in the morning, then make sure that on your weekends you rest well. Have your 8 hours of sleep at least from Saturday and Sunday. Then if you have to put off your phone, so that you can rest well. This goes a long way in ensuring that it promotes wellness, not even just about hair loss, but your general well-being. Because if you are not well rested, it affects every body function. So then another thing is men and our hairstyles. We should try as much as possible to reduce the type of chemicals we apply to our hair. If you're someone that, today you want to do platinum because it's what is trending, I would advise you to seek a properly established hairstylist. There are so many chemicals. Even there are some young guys now that in their friend's house, they'll go and buy one chemical from one shop, they'll pour it on their head. By the time you carry out such circles repeatedly, it starts to damage the hair follicles. So make sure that if you want to, maybe you want to start doing dreads, you have to see a professional. Ensure that the person is going to manage your hair. Even look at the kind of hair type you have. It's not every hair type that can manage a dread. So if you know that you want to maintain your hairstyles, also look at the kind of hair type you have so that you don't damage the follicle. Because sometimes when you start to tug at the hair, you might end up damaging the hair follicle. And once the hair follicles are damaged, there's a tendency that you might not be able to recover that hair follicle back again. Then another thing I also want to mention, even though that one doesn't pertain to men generally, there are some medications that you might be on, maybe you are treating a certain medical condition, and so you have to be on that medication. So you can now, in that area, you must speak with your professional healthcare provider, maybe your doctor or even your dermatologist, that you discover that after taking this medication, you discover that your hair is thinning. The professional would actually advise you, maybe you can change your medication. Then also there is this oil that you can add to your hair. It's called castor oil. Castor oil is also very, very good. It has been shown, that when men, especially men that want to get a fuller beard, when they apply it to their chin, they tend to have better hair growth. So it has been actually shown that when men start to apply it to some certain spots on their hair and they massage it, it tends to promote hair growth. Then you can also ensure that when you want to use different hair products, look for the ones that are gentle on your hair. Look for the products that that they have minimal use of chemicals that are harmful to your hair. Go for things that are more organic. There are some creams or some hair products that they have not been tested on animals, so they know that they are better for your skin. Then there's also the aspect of there are some products that are better for some certain race. So if you are of a certain ethnicity, they've discovered that some products are better for black skin. So make sure you do your research before you start applying some of these products on your hair. So we're just going to make a recap of everything we've discussed, and there are 6 points. The first is your nutrition. Your food goes a long way in how it's going to help in ensuring that you have healthy hair. The second thing is the kind of products you use. Ensure that you are using products that are gentle on your hair and your scalp. You don't want to use harsh chemicals that can end up leading to weaker hair. Then the third one is stress. Make sure you rest. There's nothing that you are chasing that you cannot get. So don't rush yourself. It goes a long way. Then the other thing is make sure you sleep well. Make sure you have adequate sleep. Don't overwhelm yourself that you are now losing. Because some people, by the time they are so overwhelmed, their hair starts to thin out. Then the other thing is the amount of the type of hairstyling you do. Reduce the amount of heat you apply. Well, this one also goes to women. When you go to the salon, when you are using all these heating equipment, it tends to reduce them a bit. Then the other one is consult your dermatologist. If you have tried so much products and you are still not getting results, ensure that you seek professional healthcare advice so that they will give you the best treatment plan that they have for you. On today's episode, I believe that everything we have shared with you today has been of immense benefit to you. We always come to ensure that you are getting information that will empower you to make the better life choices. We hope to hear from you. Drop your comments on any topic you would love us to share. And also remember to subscribe to our channel. Share with your friends. Don't be selfish. This information can be of benefit to other people. Like a lot of women and some young men might be going through a lot of issues with hair loss and they don't know who to talk to. This episode would have been can be of immense benefit to them. So stay safe. Have a great day.